Dragons play host to the Detroit Maulers. I'm your play-by-play commentator for this game, Colin Norton, and joining me in the broadcast booth, especially for this game, is Alex West. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Colin, it's a pleasure to be here with you as always, and we are settled in and with popcorn ready for what looks to be a serious showdown to top of the block. The Detroit Maulers, 5-4, and they have some very impressive wins on their record, but also a couple of chunk wins as well. DC on a 2-game losing streak, but still the 6 wins to start the season is nothing to sneeze at. Will DC right the ship, or will Detroit upset the home squad? Only one way to find out, and I cannot wait for what's ahead of us.
Maulers looking to keep up with the rest in the North Division. This is a North Division matchup to start the early block here in week number 12 of the 25th season of the Simulation Football League. And Detroit will kick to the Dragons first. Dungeon of Daenerys Coliseum in our nation's capital, the United States of America. And we are underway. Fielded on the end zone, up the middle, across the 10 to the 20, and will be knocked down at the 26-yard line. That's where the Dragons will start. Mason Kirby on the return, and Alex, it's no mystery, it's the Shabazz Synergy Show, but look for lots of Kevin Say, and particular Lauren Percoco.
Absolutely, Kevin Say and Lauren Percoco, some signature faces in this offense, but let's not overlook the league-leading receiver in receptions and yards, Connor Weston.
Oh yes, he's approaching some milestone events. We'll keep you appraised of those after this play, which is going to be a Kevin Say run, and they say it'll be enough for a first down. But we got an injury right off the bat.
And this is not how Detroit wanted their night to start. To lose Ramnar Sudi, their safety, one of their guys on the back end. You know, he's not starting necessarily over Chris Delro, but he's still an instrumental part of this backline defense.
We're going to say it was a pickup of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1. Kevin Say is one tailback. You see Sam Harrison is the other. Chuck Steller is also a ball carrier. Ronnie Shanahan, Mason Kirby, Connor Weston, wide receivers. Jay Hayden, along with James McCloco and James Walters at tight ends. Now go off to another one of those backs. Say will pick up the first down. So 2 carries for Kevin, and he has a first down already for DC.
This is called setting the tone early, and exactly what DC is hoping to do to draw this Detroit box in. So far, that's not happening, and they're going to run all over them until they do.
And they'll give off to Harrison this time, and Harrison will stop for a loss of 1.
Rare moment where Harrison, the backup back, he doesn't have the vision he needs to bounce that one to the outside. Instead, he tries to get skinny, but gets roadblocked.
Harrison, 57 carries, 273 yards. Almost 5 yards to carry, 3 rushing touchdowns, and left the lead team. You know, pitching off to Say again, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain by one of the stalwart defenders for Detroit, Matthias Citrion, number 94.
There are 3 outside linebackers there. Citrion, a 7-year vet of the league with some very quick response.
I'll introduce you to the defense after this play. It's a 3rd and 11. Synergy will throw for the first time this evening, and it's incomplete. Oh, he was looking for Coco down the seam, but the throw is just a bit behind the tight end, and DC will be forced to punt.
Rough throw there. Shabazz had to rush that one out of there because there was pressure coming from the interior. Robert Cherry absolutely beat his man at the line of scrimmage.
This is a defensive line that is just plain scary as a group. They've gotten multiple double-digit sacks across multiple games this season, and the offense will start at the 29-yard line, led by quarterback Ethan Flowers. Alex, who's only 185 yards away from a very special career milestone.
Indeed, very close, approaching 2,000 yards. It's been a joy to see him flourish here in the SFL as he's made a step up to the bigs.
Andrew Gibson is the primary ball carrier for the Maulers. He will get the ball up the middle, and Gibson will Net about 2 yards. Joel Hartleman is the other tailback, number 44. Terrell Sutherland, the fullback. Rob Hunt, Jimmy Wentz, C.J. Parrish, Goodrell Kahn, and Robert Henson Jr. are the tight ends. Portia Henson, Adrian Marlowe, Jimmy Hayes, and Jack Big Boss are the offensive linemen up front. This is going to be his second and 2 on the first play. They'll come out to Gibson again. He's on out behind one of his offensive linemen, and they'll lose a yard. Gibson, you can tell, is frustrated with that one.
An absolutely frustrating moment, but Gibson has no one to blame but himself. There is a point where you can say, okay, Porsche Henson's supposed to create a running lane, but she stood up, she held her block. He's got to figure out if he wants to go left or right, not just straight in between her numbers.
Daryl Bullock in on the tackle, and this will be a sprint out for Flowers. Throw back side, Jimmy Wynn on the reception. First down for Detroit. And that's a big third down conversion early for these Maulers.
And it's one of those things that you love to see, a crossing pattern that gets behind the zone. The rollout to the right creates space for Ethan to see where the space is going to be, and he delivers a strike.
DC up front, Kano Fortson and John Gary, along with Seth Harrison, are the defensive ends. Tackles are Mike Wagner and Jose Fuentes. As the throw is complete to Rob Hunt, the leading receiver for the Maulers. He will pick up 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. Nick Fargo, Chris Minton III are the linebackers. Jacoby Dew, Daryl Bullock are the corners. Billy Beers, Tyler Highfield, and Kev Sage Jr. are the safety net for the Dolphins. I formation, 2 tight ends. As you see Wet in motion. Flowers will turn Gibb to the second man for all. Gets a fumble! And DC fell on it. Nick Fargo got the ball for the Dragons, and that's a huge momentum swing by this DC defense.
Absolutely, Colin. This is a moment where we were seeing a promising drive by Detroit, getting to midfield, looking at that logo, and they weren't even looking like it was particularly difficult. Instead, the ball hits the turf, a black jersey falls upon it, and now look who's in control.
The Dragons will take over just on their own side of the 50. And Kevin Say has all kinds of room, gets about 11 or 12 yards before he's brought down. Oh, they said he picked up 9.5. I don't know about that spot.
He gets a little funky with the spin, and that's where it becomes about, well, it's not about how far he got forward, but where did he get the football? And it's just run forward, put your shoulder down. Don't do all of that fancy footwork.
And the Maulers, who are minus 19 in turnover differential, are now minus 20 to turn the ball over 33 times in total as Harrison picks up a first down.
Both of these teams struggling with the turnover differential question this season, and that's not something that you normally see in teams with positive records, for them to both be this far in the negatives.
This is DC. They scored 23 points a game at home, but 30 on the road. While DC just split Detroit, only 7 points on the road on average, for a total of 14 a game. They do score an average of 3 touchdowns at home. It will be 2nd and 6. Pitch out. Harrison breaks the tackle, but can't break the second one. That'll set up a 3rd and 4 situation. Outstanding tackle made out there by Jubilee Marsh, the strong safety.
And it's a reliable effort from Jubilee Marsh, who has been flying all around the field so far this season. Number 29 in the league. That's, I believe, her 65th tackle on the season.
3rd and 4. Synergy's going to throw, sprint out, throw down the field, and this time it's hauled in for a first down as DC will find Mason Kirby on the reception.
And that gets Mason Kirby 800 career receptions with that one, and what a way to get to Big 800. A leaping grab where the returned Ram Narsudi puts his shoulder square into the gut and power slams. It doesn't matter, first down Dragons.
This is a Detroit defensive line that has 39 sacks as a unit. Sean Parrott at defensive tackle has 14. But that doesn't matter because Say just made it first and goal on the carry there.
And this is just an incredible drive so far by the Dragons, by air or by land. They have figured out what they had go wrong in the first drive, have added some new wrinkles here, and have picked up like they never even got stuffed.
Going to be a first and goal offset eye. Harrison up the middle, tried to cut back to the inside, but very little room going. Matthias Citron, one of those linebackers on the tackle again. Casper Attic, Kenneth Gaston Jr. round out the trio.
I'll be honest, this is not the time that I'd be trying to run up the gut. The Detroit Maulers front seven have this team as a whole second in the league for TFLs.
And they go to the outside again, and it works a little better as Say will crash down close to the 5. There's Coach Mullinex on the sidelines. What does he have cooked up for third and goal?
Oh, I hope it's a toss or some kind of shovel, because up the gut, straight into Robert Cherry and Sean Parrott, no thank you.
And they're going to throw, so they go over the wall, but that doesn't work out as it's tipped away. Snotty, who was injured on the first play from scrimmage with the deflection, and Ron Van Cleet will come on for the field goal attempt.
And what a stand here at the goal line with only 2 or 3 yards to go by the Maulers, who forced DC to settle.
And Van Cleet's first goal is good, so the 10-play dive up turnover results in 3 points, not a touchdown, but DC able to take advantage and score the first really big points of the game.
Not only that, that'll also put, we have a fun little kickers duel between Ron Van Cleef and Scylla Aldemir of the Maulers for who has the most field goals made. Going into this game, both of them are 17 for 18, so that just put Ron in the lead by 1.
The turn goes up to the 26 in Detroit. They had a good thing going on the first drive, Alex West, until the unfortunate fumble by Mr. Gibson there. And let's just see if they can continue to build on the good things while forgetting about the bad.
And it is one of those things that does happen. Gibson's only put the ball on the turf for the second time this season with that fumble, and he has a lot more touchdowns and an incredibly reliable back who led the league in carries coming into this game. So it happens.
By far, he's the leading ball carrier, 172, and the next closest guy, the backup tailback Harleman, he has 62. He's also second in the league in rushing touchdowns as well. He gets it again, and Gibson will slash forward for an 8-yard gain to set up a second and short.
And this is just a great run blocking scheme that we saw here, a zone block that gets him to shoot in the C gap between the guard where he's looking between the B gap and the C gap. He looks and takes the inside route.
And they give Harleman and the bigger back. Harleman is 6 foot 260, plows ahead for the first down. Approaching under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Detroit has the ball down 3-0. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom side. They will run, and Gibson got hung up behind his blockers as Billy Beers on the TFL. That's going to be a loss of 4.
That's not just because Gibson got hung up on his line. That's also because DC smelled the run and sent the house. They had 8 coming down, and they knew.
Abby blitz again. Flowers, barely got rid of it. Jimmy went the closest man to the ball, but just like that, it's going to be 3rd and very long.
This time they send 6 or 7, and it definitely rattles Flowers, who sees blitzers coming unblocked off of each edge. Couldn't get it out before he even gets hit. What a show by DC.
Reigning offensive rookie of the season last year. It's going to be faced with a 3rd and very long pump fake. Clean pocket this time. Edelman wide movement, but he's out of bounds. Rob Hunt, he caught the ball, but he didn't have both the feet you needed to keep the drive going, and just like that, Mylan Thales will be on for the punt for Detroit.
And that's one that Ethan really wants back because he had time. He had time aplenty. If he just lets that ball go a little bit sooner, throws that one a little more decisively, that ball would have been caught inbound, but instead he just waits a little too long.
Harrison making good out of this return. He's up over the 40. That's when I'll mark him down. Sam Harrison.
Harrison there, bouncing to the left side, getting a whole lot of something out of what looked to be maybe nothing, but it's some great blocking and some nifty little sidestep you see here. He goes from the 25 to basically the 40, picking up about 15, 16, 17, something like that. And this sets up DC with great field position.
It's worth noting that Rob Hunt is this team's leading wide receiver in terms of receptions and yards with 43 and 702 coming into the game in terms of yards. 702 is third best, although he has only one received touchdown of the year. As Say will lose a yard and he goes backwards for the first time.
Kev Say, one of the things he's really good at is he's really good at that first step cut, but sometimes he tries to get fancy footwork with it and ballerina his way out of trouble, and I think it gets him in more trouble than it gets him out of.
Harrison gets the ball. Well, he used the stiff arm there, but unable to gain much. He got two, but that sets up a 3rd and 9.
I tell you something, Colin, both of these teams looking to try and establish the run quite frequently on first down right now, and both of these defensive coordinators have keyed in on it. Let's see which offense makes the first adjustment and tries to get a little spicy on first down.
King Rashid is the team's leading interceptor with 3. He has 12 pass deflections. He's going to be geared down the middle, tipped and incomplete to Billy Marsh, who's second in pass deflections, gets one there to set up a 4th and 9.
Not only is she second in pass deflections, she's running right behind her teammate, King Rashid. This Detroit Maulers defense has the #1 and #2 sackers and the #1 and #2 pass deflectors. That is a crazy stat line to say you have.
It is a crazy combination. Ooh, a crunching tackle as Jimmy went down there as he got stuck at the 20-yard line.
I see the ref picking his mouthpiece up out of the turf and handing it to him. Yikes.
1st and 10 from the 20. You see the total yardage there. It's about half of what it is for DC at Detroit at the start of this possession. And Flowers. Quick drop. Oh, Jimmy Wood showing off without the gloves. Just some tape on his fingers going old school. And he says, look what I can do.
Someone check that tape for Stickum. Are you kidding me? He snagged that one-handed reaching behind the back of a defender who's interposing his body and his chest. What in the Sam Hill? How do you pull that off without it being a cartoon?
That's the end of the first quarter, and what a way to end it. No scoring though, DC in front, just 3-0. Colin Northrop, Alex West here in the broadcast booth with you. Our statistician is the one, the only Mark Lopez. Appreciate those of you who are tuning into this game, including Robert Ensign and Guy Colossi. I also see Billy Hughes as well as Iggy. And Gibson will pick up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
That's a solid run on first down. Again, I'm still wanting to see one of these two teams decide to go to the air on first down because of the defense stacking the box early. Look at this again. Holy, how many black jerseys are on the line?
4, but you see all 11 defenders in your picture, and they run against that. And boy, I tell you, Alex, that's like trying to bang your head against a brick wall. You're not going to get very far, as Harleman only picked up 1.
I tell you what, Colin, it's one of those things where all it takes is to have one defender in this kind of 11-man front and miss a tackle, and then Sam Harrison is Kool-Aid manning his way to the end zone.
3rd and 3, and they're going to throw Flowers over the middle. First down, Wentz with the diving reception. He used both hands that time.
And it's just Jimmy, you got to leave some highlight reel film for the rest of the team. Stop it. Or keep it up. Alternatively, Detroit really needs you to score some points.
Wentz. Already got 2 catches on the drive. Here's the pitch at the Gibson. Tried to spin off one, but not the second defender as Nick Fargo ran that down from behind. I tell you what, Fargo, he's been in the league 14 years. Alex, he's seen just about everything.
Not only that, because he's seen about everything, it feels like he's played about every defensive position that isn't just the line. He gets substitute duty here, there, he's everywhere.
He's 17, my apologies, as Gibson catches it on the screen, and he's a really good dual threat running back, as you see there, setting up a 3rd and about 3.
Honestly, it reminds me of watching the old Marshall Faulk whenever he was part of that Greatest Show on Turf Rams. As much of a threat out of the backfield as he was, catching as he was running.
A former wide receiver, what was then the Canton Classics, his transition to running back. Nicely, Harleman, he got stuck up behind his guard. Credit to the defensive lineman there as Tyler Highfield came in like a vacuum salesman and zooped up the mess.
This is one of those moments where you just shake your head. This Detroit Maulers front has got to do a better job getting a push when the defense expects a run, because so far they're only finding consistent success when they are faking people out with surprise passes.
But punt lands in the end zone. Ball comes out to the 20. 7:26 to go still. 3-0 our score. Appreciate the compliment, Robert Thump. He says Colin's always out here calling the best games of the week. Appreciate that. That guy. 1st and 10 at the 20. Synergy turn gives to stay in beside Citron. There was nothing lemon about that hit. He racked him up for a loss of 1.
I tell you what, Colin, this is something that you talk about. You see it straight up in ancient military tactics. That's the hammer and anvil. Citrion comes around the flank completely unchecked and just slams into the side of the running back.
DC wearing all blacks. Detroit wearing their all whites. Pretty neat color contrast there as Harrison will make it a 3rd and 6. As he's crunched down there by Delroy. Back there at free safety. Third and 6. 4 wide. Sprint out by Synergy. Has time. Throws backside. Right open. Caught for the 1st down. It's Lauren Percoco. And the Dragon Lady has her first reception of the ball game.
And it's one of those that we've been waiting on and looking for and hoping to see. It's just a matter of time, it feels, before Lauren Percoco gets involved. She has been the face of this defeat offense for so long, a cornerstone and perhaps the face of the Dragons as a whole.
It's going to be 1st and 10 as we approach under 6 minutes to go. Harrison up the middle. They say gained about a yard. Marsh again on the stop. He's been everywhere.
Not every run is going to be successful. Sometimes you just have to commit to the run action to make the defense keep putting bodies in the box so you can open up for the pass when you have a chance.
Here's the good to say up the middle. Broken tackle and he muscles his way forward. And set up a 3rd and 6. It's going to be a gain about 3.
Something I'm impressed seeing so far with the Maulers is that they are doing a little bit of bend, but not really breaking. They have sent some of they are relying on their front 4 to do a lot of their heavy lifting in terms of pressure.
Let's see if they come here. The tackle through it. Robert Cherry gets a sack, and he silences the crowd. Number 54 came flying in, and It looked like he was delivering one of those clotheslines from hell, Alex West.
Oh, and what a brutal moment for DC fans everywhere as they see a third down on a promising drive go up in smoke because, again, the two front teeth of this Mallards defense are a pair of fangs. Robert Cherry getting number 12 on the season, still 2 behind his running mate, Sean Parent. But these two have an attitude that just getting one of them getting a sack gets both of them fired up.
Those guys are definitely going to be front of the line for defensive player to see as Detroit will take over on their own 28-yard line, 4:42 to go in the first half of play. And Flowers has done a decent job throwing the football so far, although he's been under heavy duress at times. We'll give to Gibson. Gibson hurls over that man and will pick up 5 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Colin, when they say that they are able to, whenever they are able to get a little bit of push at the front line, Gibson does see space. He does get opportunities to run, but not when the box is stacked.
And Harleman, he has room to run. I haven't seen that very often when number 44 is back there at the tailback position. He gets a first down.
And he just goes for a nice little jog here. A great job by the O-line opening up massive wide gaps. So you could maybe say that when there was a holding somewhere in there on the weak side of the run from the guard, but it doesn't get called this time. It happens on every play, or so they say.
It's going to be a first down. Just past the 40, they're going to give it to Gibson again. And I think that formation worked, Alex West, that time because they spread him out. And all of a sudden, Gibson had room to run off that left side.
Couldn't agree more, Colin. Your eyes are dead on there, sir. It's the ability of Detroit to rely on Ethan Flowers, who has started this game really well. He is 5 of 7 so far. He's getting some consistent throws in, so they have to respect his arm.
And Harleman again. Oh, they say he got a yard, but I don't know about that. That might have been a little generous. It'll be 2nd and 9.
We've seen some generous spots in both directions, so it doesn't raise too much of an eyebrow. It just makes me think that these refs need LASIK.
It's going to be 2nd and 9. Gibson on the carry, and Gibson slashes forward to set up a 3rd and 4 as we approach under 3 minutes to go. You're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFN, SFL Week 12 continues to Monday. SFLM has a triple header Tuesday. No other network gives you more football. The SFL lives on VFN. Flowers nearly sacked, but somehow got to complete to Jimmy Wynn, who was surrounded by 2 people.
Looks like Jimmy Wynn was running the arrow route or maybe a crossing route. It doesn't matter because what really makes this entire play shine is Flowers keeping calm, cool, and composed in the pocket as heat comes all around him. He finds a way to float this one so Jimmy can run onto it and doesn't have to stop or even break stride, just has to catch it.
Look at the average yards per play. Detroit 4.4, DC 3.2. CJ Parrish, the man in motion, number 81. That was the 8th first down gained by Detroit. Gibson trying to make it 9, but he stopped 2 yards short of the sticks.
And Gibson it's not that Gibson can't do power running things, but he is very much that speed, one cut, one step back, where he tries to hit the hole with force and speed. Sometimes he gets hung up on his line, but there he gets a big gain.
Going to be the 2-minute warning. DC down by a field goal, but they're looking to change the narrative. It's going to be 2nd and 3. On the other side of the 2-minute warning. Flowers under center. Has Harleman deep and Sutherland in front of him. They line up in an offset. Gibson cuts back up the middle, and they say it's going to be really close, less than a yard. You could probably sneeze the ball across the first down line, Alex West.
Man, I just tell you what, the center run is illegal, I know that, but just let Flowers just snap it to him. It's on the line. Are you kidding me?
And turn, Gabe gets in! He didn't get there! Oh, what a great tackle by Billy Beers! The second big tackle Billy's had in this ball game, and it's going to be a 34-yard field goal attempt up there.
Pushing him back about a quarter, maybe half a yard, turning what would have been fourth and half an inch into an actual inches to go. That's a TFL and a big stand by DC.
And the field goal is up and good, so the little mini race between the field goal kickers is deadlocked once again as Altmere nets her team 3 points.
Still am more than familiar with what it takes to get a leg up and get a leg out there. These two kickers are also within 1 yard of each other in terms of what their longs are on this season. So it could, if it could come down to the legs, I don't know who's better.
Deep kickoff will be fielded in the end zone. Ball comes out to the 20. I tell you what, if you're bored on a Tuesday evening, folks, and you need something to watch, those SFL games, trust me, they can be a lot of fun. We'll have some more information on those games coming up later on. But they're really hidden gems as far as the VFN catalog goes. And Say will carry it, break a tackle, and Kevin Say will get wrapped up about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. And I'm not just saying that because Alex West is the SFL commissioner and happens to be with me. I genuinely mean it.
Thanks, Colin. I appreciate it. And it's always nice to have you in the chat or sometimes even on the calls, man. It's Tuesday nights are special for me.
Harrison up the middle, tried to cut back to the inside, only got a yard, and I think TC will be content with where proceedings have gone so far, and they don't seem to be in a bit of a hurry as we approach 20 seconds.
No big rush on this one. No big need to put too much pressure. Not when you're going to be getting, not when you're optimistic about getting the ball back pretty quickly. Both offenses have had a hard time moving the ball.
And Say trying to break through, but only got 3 yards when he needed to. And now timeout called by Detroit with 5 seconds left. I mean, I get that they're there and you can use them. You can't necessarily pocket them for the second half, but with the clock at 5 seconds, why not just let it go?
Punt 6 magic, Colin. Don't you believe in miracles? Detroit clearly does.
And it's going to expire as Wentz will field it on the return, bring a couple tackles. Ooh, he goes forward to the 43-yard line. And that'll wrap up the proceedings here on the field at the end of the first half. 3-3 our score. Jimmy Wentz. Ooh, if he had another block or two, he might have gone just a little bit farther, Alex.
Maybe, but just a little further wouldn't even have been enough. Not whenever he had so far to go. And ultimately, that's what it feels like this whole game has been, Colin. So far to go, so much field to move. Both offenses struggling to move the football downfield. If you are a fan of defensive football, folks, this has been the game for you. We are looking at 2 punts by Detroit, 2 punts or 4 punts by DC. There's been a fumble. No one has gotten a touchdown so far. Both offenses combined under 225 yards together. This is one to watch and see who's racking up the most gaudy numbers on the defensive side of the football. So far, I'm loving Robert Cherry and the force that he's providing on the inside.
Nick Fargo spotlighted as a 3.5. He has 5 tackles. He did force the fumble on Gibson that was recovered. Led to DC's first points. Sebastian Energy shocking 2 of 5 passing, Alex West. I did not have that on my makeup.
No, not at all. This man is, as far as this season goes, the most accurate quarterback by completion percentage. 2nd in leading the league in terms of total yards thrown. The only thing that he maybe has a blemish on his record for up to now is upside down and touchdowns and interceptions, but all the same, he's been impressive. This is not the normal Shabazz synergy we have come to watch.
Parrish on the return up the middle will get tackled at about the 24-yard line, electing to take it out. So Detroit, they got a field goal on their only scoring possession, Alex West. Let's see if they can be the first to break the plane, to borrow a quote from my father.
Have to hope so. Since we're borrowing things from your father, does that mean I can get you can get a certain meter wheeled out?
Yes, I can operate the Rick meter. I'll see what it says after this play is went. Hauls it in and it carrying defenders forward to the 45 or just to the 46 it appears.
And who gets more credit for this play, Ethan Flowers or Jimmy Wynn? I tell you, it's chicken and the egg, because Flowers finds this one spot in the field where Jimmy Wynn is between 4 different defenders, and Jimmy himself has ice in his veins to reel that one in. Wow.
And that's 5 catches for Jimmy Wynn now. He had 24 grabs for 356 yards coming in, tipped in, incomplete. And we'll get a reading from the Rick Meter staff here. They say it's about neutral, but their future forward-looking broadcast likes what Detroit's done so far.
Spicy. We'll see how it feels, but so far, I do understand where it's going with it. Ethan Flowers is just on one so far. Love to see the young man shine.
2nd and 10. Flowers, 8 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Has attempted the 5th most passes coming in at 269. Ooh, up the hands of the receiver down the middle of the field. And that was Robert Henson Jr. He can't believe it.
And I can't believe it either. Henson Jr. is getting an earful on the sideline, and he knows he deserved it. This would have been an easy first down pickup and more. Instead, now it's a desperate attempt to find another one-on-one matchup for Flowers.
It's going to be 3rd and 10.
Oh.
And Detroit was 3 of 6 in the first half on 3rd down. But this is the full 10 yards they need. Flowers down the middle. Oh, Rob Hunt had it in his hands, but it was broken up by guess who? Billy Beers, who's been supremely active all game. And Detroit will be forced to punt.
And I don't even know how you record that in the stat sheet, but it feels like it ought to go as a pass breakup, even though it's not. It's a dropped pass, but Beers is the reason that hit the turf, 100%.
And fails. Will punt it away. Harrison had a good return in the first half, gets up to only the 21 here.
Can I just say, that was a really cool effort by the special teams player on that one. 98, Anthony Weaver, the gunner on that one, having to leap one of his own men to make that tackle.
Yeah, he definitely earned that tackle, that's for sure. We first down and 10 with 9:05 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, the game is tied at 3. A bit of a defensive slugfest. Kind of surprising given especially DC's propensity to pile on the points, but Say picks up 4 yards, it'll be 2nd and 6.
It's not only that that's interesting here. There's a few different dynamics and things that you could talk about, how there's some push and pull, but none of it would indicate what we're seeing right now. DC has scored normally about 25 points a game at home, but Detroit is good for the same number of points allowed home or away at 19. So it's not like DC has an advantage, major advantage in being at home. Detroit doesn't care if they're road warriors. And so far, they have been playing calm, cool, and collected in the den of the Dragons.
DC was only 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Well, this is rather 3rd and medium. A place where they haven't been in very much. This interview throws across the middle. There's Percoco again. She had 1 grab all the first half, and she hauls it in there for a first down.
Still waiting for our first Connor Weston sighting, but Lauren Percoco is able to find these gaps in the zone coverage. It's like she knows if she can just find about 3 inches of space that she can get a ball throwing her way by Shabazz, who knows to look for her.
Bunched at the top of the screen for DC. They have a single receiver, bottom of your screen. They run toward the bunch side with Sam Harrison. Breaking tackles. He's up over the 50. And they're going to say he picked up about 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3. It'll be 2nd and 3. It'll go tight again. This time on the offset, I say the Moose up the middle, and the Moose gets the first down, but not before Amir Smati puts his shoulder into it and brings Say down with a thunderous hit.
Truly did sting him hard enough to where now Say's on the sideline getting a little bit of water after that one. Rub some dirt on it. He'll be out there after the next snap, though.
I haven't seen any carries yet for Chuck Stellar. Here's Seth Harrison up the middle. He gains about 2 yards, trying to cut outside. There's Chris Delro, number 20 on the tackle.
And I've got to say, I do appreciate the quick response time of Delro and Jubilee Marsh whenever they do come down crashing to help stop the run. It's been some great work by both of these safeties.
2nd and 8. There's Kirby in motion. And Harrison gets it up the middle again instead of a 3rd and 4. So again, they go spread to lighten the box, and Harrison's able to find a crease.
And that feels like one of the best ways that DC has been running the football so far, trying to make a thin box.
And they'll get the save, but sits on the mat. Lemon had none of it. Tackled for a short loss in the backfield, and the Moose cannot believe it.
Just a few too many zone run concepts in a row, just a few too many times of trying the same old thing. You cannot just rely on one thing over and over again in this league. These coordinators are sharp, these linebackers are sharp, and these safeties are ruthless.
Fair catch called for it to 16 by Went. Like the video. I'll say it again. Like this video. Please support our hardworking crew by smashing the like button and subscribing and comment on the video. It really helps the channel out. Turn notifications on so you'll never miss a live stream highlighted podcast. Thanks for your support of the Virtual Football Network. Of course, Cameron Irvine, the commissioner behind the scenes back at league headquarters, keeping track of everything as Rob up throws the ball. Oh, that was a little high pass, but as it glanced off his fingers.
And what could have been, but Flowers has been resilient so far. A couple of errant passes have made what was a sparkling number a little less shiny, but he still has plenty of time and plenty of opportunities to correct that.
Single set back off to the left-hand side behind Flowers. She's back to throw. Flowers down the middle. Oh, too long for the intended receiver. That was Khan. The other tight end. Oh, that was Henson Jr.
Yeah,
the targeted receiver.
A little bit too much mustard on that one. You've got to keep, he tries to throw a bullet that's also high to avoid the linebackers, but he just leads his target too much.
Flowers on the sprint. Will go down the middle, tipped and incomplete. DC made perfect coverage that time. Throw knocked away by number 25 there for the Dragons. One of the reserve players, Jimmy Wyrick.
Heartbreaking drive there. Flowers not able to find any of his connections on that one, and the drive just ends as soon as it started.
The punt is going to be fielded by Harrison. Up over the 40, they'll mark him down at the 44. Harrison. Don't see a lot of backup tailbacks returning kicks and or punts, Alex, West in this league.
Honestly, I think it's a good move. I really appreciate the idea of having a backup tailback or a cornerback or maybe even a safety out there doing punt return duty, because you want all of your starters to be fresh on your first snap, at least if you're me.
Synergy pumps, he's gonna run, he does this a lot, and Synergy will get tackled at the 50 after a pickup of 7. He's gotten in trouble with it before putting the ball on the deck, but that time it stays riveted to his body.
And that was a very dangerous instance, putting his body and possession on the line. They're gonna ask him to slide after that.
2nd and 3, Hayden, the tight end, in motion as they go offset I. They're going to run that direction, and Say has the first down, no problem.
Smooth as you like, steady gains, and DC is just trying to right the ship a bit here so they can retake the lead in front of their home crowds. Both of these teams have done just a little bit of back and forth, but accomplishing nothing this quarter.
And run off to Harrison. He got the first down and more before stepping out of bounds. And Sam Harrison, they call him the Hurricane, and he got upfield in a hurry. And that'll be another first down for DC.
And it's all of these runs to the inside that have been going and drawing the Maulers closer and closer into that tight box, not even thinking about the option to bounce runs to the outside, just by hitting the A, B, and C gaps over and over and over again, just keeping it tight to the line. And instead, when they go wide, it suddenly goes for a huge gainer.
And they go pitch out to Say, and Say unable to find much room. He will gain 2 yards. For his credit, is Snotty in on a tackle, and DC continues to widen the total yardage advantage.
Turning the screws now, and now they're well within field goal range as well.
Here's to get to Harris. Harris up over the 20, broken tackle. But there's Snotty again to set up a 3rd and 4 situation now, as we're at 3:25 and counting to go in the 3rd.
Jubilee Marsh and Ram Narsudi, those two guys have a special connection in timing. One guy arrives on the scene to slow him down, the other ends up with the wrap-up. It doesn't matter, it's just a question of which one's going to get to you first, and it depends on which side you run to.
And here's going to be 3rd and 4. They're going to run again with Say Juke, and he was able to get the first down. It'll be 1st and goal, and the Moose, well, he necessarily hasn't broken the long run, has gotten the important runs down for his team.
Not only that, it's an incredible stutter step in the backfield that leaves Jubilee Marsh guessing, and he just completely misses the angle, allowing the first down to happen with a simple waltz forward. What an incredible bit of backfield running.
1st and goal, Harrison off left tackle, broken tackle, and Sam Harrison breaks the plane for a touchdown, DC.
At last, we have 6 points on the board, and not from a kicker's leg either. It's a real, honest-to-goodness touchdown, and it is an incredible on-the-ground mainly drive that does it. This is just simple, straightforward, smash-mouth football that set this final scoring position in play. Every single drive here was a run, 7 in a row, all on the ground.
Oh, that's got to be demoralizing for the defense as the extra point is up at 10. 3-yard score, 7 plays, 57 yards, 2 minutes and 42 seconds taken off the clock. And Sam Harrison finds the end zone once again.
I'll tell you what, Colin, if you had told me, or if you had asked me what the first touchdown scoring drive in this game would look like, all runs would not have been my 1st, 2nd, or 3rd guess.
Parrish on the return, broken tackle. He's up over the 30, don't mark him down at the 32. He needed just about one more block, Alex West, or otherwise he could have gone a long way.
And let me tell you, the home fans are breathing a sigh of relief that Parrish didn't get it, because it was a near run thing. CJ Parrish has been an absolute speed demon since he's come into the league. He's been running and toiling away the wide receiver 3 mines ever since he's been here, but he's always been a quality character guy, and every team loves to have him in their locker.
He's found a home here in Detroit after spending some time at both Lexington and Houston. Gibson will pick up 5 on the toss sweep. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Speaking of Lexington connections, Flowers, another former teammate of his, along with Robert Henson Jr., all former Lexington Miners in the minor leagues.
That's right. Before they were up here in the majors, they were one of the key franchises down at SFL. Give off to Harleman up the middle. Oh, he got rocked backwards that time. But Tyler Highfield, the much smaller safety man, taking on a much bigger man, and the bigger man went flying backwards.
I tell you, there's nothing like seeing a small man stop a big man cold. It's just, you just wonder, how did he do that? The answer is he got low.
And Flowers under the center. It'll be 3rd and 3. Yeah, to Gibson, he doesn't get there. In fact, he lost 2 yards. Highfield again on the stop. 2 outstanding plays in a row from the safety man coming down in run support.
Highfield screaming around the field. Doesn't matter which side you're running to. He knows it's coming. He knows where you're looking to go, and he is not here to let you have it easy. The 4-year veteran, been here in DC ever since he started in the league, and he has been terrorizing offenses ever since.
And James Walters, the defensive coordinator, he has to be really happy with how his defense is played, as the offense will turn back on the field now.
What's not to love about this performance so far, Colin? I mean, consider where Detroit's at right now. Total offense is under 150 yards, and we are how late in the 3rd quarter? Oh, that's right, under a minute left. They have been taking Detroit and only allowed them to gain 26 yards here in the 3rd. Absolute strangulation.
And Say will plow ahead for a gain of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 8 as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter, which has been totally dominated on both sides by the home team. Offset I formation. Sam Harrison has Stella behind him. Here's the give, and he only gets a yard, got about 7. Just 2 weeks left in the SFLM Season 11, and it's anybody's game at top of the standings. Birmingham and San Jose are at the top. The flight hosts Anchorage at 6 p.m. Eastern. Hellhounds travel to Milwaukee at 8 p.m. Eastern, and San Diego clashes with New York at 10 p.m. Eastern. See the SFL starts tomorrow today, right here on the Virtual Football Network. Connor Weston got a target, Alex, but it was deflected away incomplete.
Gaston Jr. is the one who wanted an interception there, couldn't get it, but that ends our 3rd quarter. Get the 4s up and check. DC up on top by 7.
Get all the numbers out too. 12, 86, 29, 68. As DC will start the 4th quarter with a punt. I haven't really heard from Connor Weston today. I think that I'm not mistaken, now it's only the 2nd time he's been targeted. I haven't heard from Ronnie Shanahan or James Walters at all either.
It really has been a bit of a bizarro day for the DC offense, hasn't it? Shabazz synergy with only 7 times unlimbering and only finding 3 connections is already frightening enough, but to only see no catches on 83's tally just doesn't make any sense.
With 2 targets, he had a milestone mark that he was chasing so far. Well, he's still chasing. The run will go for little yardage for Detroit, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
And I understand why they went to the ground there with Ethan Flowers having a struggle to get established on that last drive. You want to reset mentally.
Run up the middle. Flowers didn't slide, got pushed forward to make it a 3rd and 2.
A very savvy move by Flowers in that instance, because DC bring the heat. The pocket was collapsing. He had a chance to squirt out the middle of it between the A gap, and he did.
It set up a 3rd and 2. Detroit hasn't been in a lot of these. Gibson gets the carry, breaks the tackle, and gets a 1st down.
Just enough of a push. Gibson shoulders his way forwards, and this is the difference between 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 4. You're able to sell out that much harder into the run, and Gibson's able to lean his way forward to pick up a fresh set on the sticks.
Will be first and 10 exactly at the midfield stripe. 155 total yards for Detroit, but they'll go backwards. Lost 3 yards. And Orleman slams his left hand into the turf. He cannot believe he got tackled so quickly.
Wagner there just completely unblocked at the line of scrimmage, slips through and hits the halfback as soon as he catches the toss.
Flowers back to throw. Down he goes. Sack time combination. And Wagner was once again in the middle of it. And the Dragon fans, well, they're excited.
And what was a promising Detroit drive has just been nearly extinguished from a steady moving forward, first down here, first down there. Suddenly, 3rd and 18 is the command. Can number 5 get another one?
And Flowers has time, throws. Oh, an attempted one-handed grab by number 89 there for the Maulers. Down on the receiving chart, but ultimately Travis Taylor unable to haul it in.
Even then, that's a situation where he was short of the sticks anyhow. Even if that were a completion, it'd be 4th and 3 instead of 4th and forever, and you're still out of field goal range.
DC will take over on their own 18-yard line with 7:44 to go in the game.
I expect him to lean on the run pretty heavily here if I were in their position, Colin. It doesn't matter if you're only up by 1. Given that you scored your only touchdown on 7 straight runs, why would you mix up what got you the lead in the first place?
72 yards on 18 carries for Say. He leads the way. Although Harrison gets it here first, it'll be 2nd down and 8, just a 2-yard gain. Rick Evans, the 3rd cornerback rostered on this team with the tackle there.
What do you think that was? Is that a bear front? They had quite a few people in the box, and they're doing it again. That looks like a 4-3, though.
Then they go 3 tight ends to DC. They pitch it wide to Say. Say broke 1 tackle, but not the 2nd. Limiting to pick up the only 1. And Samar Snoddy there again, Alex West.
And Remnar City is an absolute menace. He has been trying to prove himself all season. Last year was his first year in the SFL. He's really gotten a lot of seasoning since his time on the Dev League. And this is what his results have been.
Synergy throws backside, tipped away, incomplete. And Detroit forces another DC punt, and Weston is
my
down.
Goodness.
Connor Weston, he's had a tough draw here this evening, and now he is injured. And Alex, that doesn't look like he needed assistance from the training staff to get off the field.
Unlikely to see him return in this game, but he will be back next week no matter what. Our medical staff is the best in the world, no doubt about it. All the same, not good enough to get him out on the field for the next drive most likely, and that is a loss for the DC Dragons offense, no two ways about it. Doesn't matter if they're majority trying to run. When it's 3rd and long, you're going to need to throw the football.
And, Weston is not only a big target in terms of the impact he can have when he gets the ball in his hands. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, so he is a tall drink of water. It'll be 1st and 10 at the just short of the 40-yard line of Detroit. Flowers back to throw. Oh! Nice catch made on the play, and welcome to the ball game, C.J. Parrish. That's his first reception.
And what a critical moment to get it to. He's been looked for all night. Flowers to Parrish is an old connection. They've been looking to make it happen. There has been some success so far this season, but that one is the first meaningful catch of the game, and it is one that puts the momentum firmly in Detroit's sails.
And Flowers throws. Oh, that was a little too low. They were looking for Parrish again, although this time he was guarded by 2 people.
And that's one where just, Ethan, you got to put it between the numbers-ish, not at the shoestrings. Get it up. Get that one out of the turf there, buddy.
Eyes up here, buddy. As Hunt goes in motion across formation. He's been relatively quiet. Flowers will throw down the field again. Catch made this time by Parrish. He was more open that time, and Flowers put it right on the button.
And I don't know exactly how Parrish got that wide open. It looks to be a little bit of either a breakdown in coverage, or when he cut to the inside, he just completely left his defender, because that's either a wide open zone or just the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and that's a first down. Detroit takes advantage.
9 of 19 now as Flowers passing the football. He goes underneath this time to Hunt, and he gets 4 yards, but he pays the price for it.
Pays a price, but you know he'll pay that every time if it means keeping the offense on schedule to pick up the sticks, especially with it being a one-score ball game in the fourth quarter.
This is going to be a 2nd and 6, 5:30 to go in this ball game. 10-3 on score. Detroit looking to punch it over the painted area. Wide open is Gibson, breaks a tackle, and he will get first down at the 10-yard line.
And what a play here by Gibson to be able to shove and push his way forward. They are now operating with the fresh set of downs on the 11. Technically, you could pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown, but they really need the touchdown here. Not even asking a question if a field goal is worth it or not. It's not.
I just got a memo from the Rick Meter staff. They are scrambling to come up with a new rating, as Detroit has sparked up with life here as the clock is stopped with 4:56 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, I see the needle. It's going left and right and then fluctuating back and forth. I can't tell what it is, Colin.
It's going to be 2nd down and 10, 4:56 to go. Detroit over 200 yards, no offense.
Oh.
Gibson, tried to make a behind the back spinning catch on the screen, but Flowers put it a little too far behind the tailback. It'll be 3rd down.
And a heartbreaking time to have that pass go off the mark. There were 2 lead linemen ready to throw blocks to get a whole ocean of yardage. Instead, misfire.
It'll be 3rd and 10. Flowers to the end zone. Oh, out the hands of Parrish, and nearly intercepted on the ricochet. Oh, Parrish had a touchdown on his fingertips, but he could not hang on to the ball.
And as they get not only inside the red zone, they get inside the 15-yard line. Suddenly the wheels fall off, and now Detroit is faced with a near impossible question to ask. Do you take the field goal here? I think they are going to. Aldmere is on the field.
It's going to be a 20-yard attempt. They're putting in a lot of trust in the defense. This defense has answered the call, particularly here in the 4th and final period. Aldmere's kick is good. 9 plays, 49 yards, just under 2 minutes taken off the clock. But the Maulers still trail by 4 points, Alex West.
And it's 4 points. That's the heavy implication here. The reason that I did not like the fact that the Maulers just settled for a field goal is because 2 field goals is not enough. DC, now with under 5 minutes on the clock, is going to run the football. They're going to work the play clock down to about 5 seconds or less on every subsequent snap if they're clever. They may be a little more conservative than that, but I think they're really going to focus on draining the clock given that they are up.
Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10 from the 20. It's going to be a Savaz Energy handoff to Evan Say off the left-hand side, and he gets 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Want to remind you, Sunday, the SFL 4-pack of games gets started with Florida and Baltimore, needed of a win, plus St. City and Chicago, Vancouver, Albuquerque, and Bossier City, Oklahoma City. Coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. The SFL lives on the Virtual Football Network. As they give again to Harrison, but he only gains a yard forward, setting up a 3rd and 4. Citron on the tackle.
Citron there with an excellent play, but you just talked about that block. I tell you, I'm really interested in seeing what comes of that Chicago Sin City game. Those teams both in the middle of the pack, both really trying to define themselves and get into the playoff hunt.
And Synergy goes down in a heap. The front 7 comes through again as it's number 56, Thomas Matthews on the sack.
And it doesn't matter how many people you have ready to block. These defensive fronts have been eating all season. This unit leads the league in sacks, and it's because of the incredible one-on-one matchups that each of these guys can win at any given moment. Parent hasn't gotten one today, but Cherry's gotten one. Now Matthew surprises us off the edge, but the heat has been coming for Synergy all night.
Fair catch called for at the 37. I tell you the other interesting game to keep an eye on besides the one you mentioned. I think the Bossier City Steamers are better than what their record indicates. They have been in some very, very close losses. And probably, if the ball bounced their way instead of the opposition, they probably would have an additional 2 or perhaps even 3 wins to their ledger rather than 1.
I like that take there, Colin. Good way to look at the season, where I know Bossier City's a little frustrated with how it's been, but there's a lot of positivity in how close those games have been throughout the season.
I know us guys over in Washington will be keeping a close eye on that Vancouver Albuquerque game, since that is a divisional opponent of ours in Vancouver taking on Albuquerque. And Detroit stopped in the backfield for a loss. It's Nick Fargo.
And what a moment for Nick Fargo to step up, stand tall, and make a play. Now this practically forces a pass. I would not try to run the football on 3rd and 6.
Bunch to the bottom of the screen. Single back is Gibson. Now they motion Hunt out of the bunch. And then they'll go 2 by 2 in sort of a condensed split. They'll roll toward one side. Throw back under it. They're up and incomplete. Oh my goodness. Knocked away by number 26 for the Dragons. That was Jacoby Dew. And Detroit's going to send out the punt team?
Nope, they're going to go for it. It's 4-down territory. They've got all 3 timeouts. They need the conversion, and they know it. Listen to the crowd.
The crowd picks up a very heavy chant. I was fooled by the camera angle as the offense broke the huddle. Flowers back to throw. Goes down the middle. Oh, incomplete. A great hit made by the defender, and guess who it was? Billy Beers.
And the flag stays in the pocket. We're going to get a replay here. Beers does an incredible job keeping his head locked on the football. He plays the ball to keep the timing locked in, and that is the key between making that hit and getting DPI and giving Detroit a fresh set of downs on the opposite side of the field. What a heads-up play by Billy Beers.
And Andre Dubois-Smith, player of Pittsburgh, he's been rooting really hard for these Maulers because Pittsburgh is all of a sudden leading the North Division, so obviously DC being right behind them in the 2nd position is a scary proposition for anybody. As we reach the 2-minute warning, DC trying to put the finishing touches here. Colin Northup, Alex West, Mark Lopez, our statistician, Cameron Irvine, our league commissioner back at league headquarters, working behind the scenes, doing the amazing things he always does. And Detroit calls timeout number 1.
That is number 1. Fortunately for them, this is a decently hard to convert 3rd down to pick up 3rd and 4. There is a chance that Shabazz Synergy will be asked to throw. If that's an incomplete, the clock will stop, but I think they're going to go to the ground based on this heavy set.
And they go out of a similar look up the middle, and Say did a good job to make it real close. It'll be a yard short. Detroit takes timeout number 2.
And now the funniest thing in the world to me would be if DC goes for it here. 4th and 1, you're this far on the other side of the field. Forget about it. Why not? They're going to go for it. Here we go.
All right. They're going to try to fully cinch the deal right here. It's not going to work. The man limit broke through. Nobody touched him. And like the Los Angeles Rams against the 49ers, the 4th down attempt to seal away the win backfires.
Madman Matthias Citrion there with the huge play to blow that run up in the backfield. One of the only negative plays we've seen the DC Dragons have running the football all night, and it gives Detroit new life. Let's go.
They'll start 1st and 10 from that spot. Ensign Jr. to tight end in motion. Eddie Gage can't believe it. As Gibson up the middle, and Gibson, he got about 11 or 12 yards, and that's about as good a start as you could possibly hope for, Alex West.
Absolutely great to set the tone early, go thunderous up the gut. Don't waste too much time, though. You do not want to give DC a chance to get back in this football game, so they are going to work the clock some, but that could burn them. They're playing with fire.
They'll start again with Harleman. Broken tackle on Harleman. Was about a half a step from making it something even bigger. He got 6 yards for his troubles.
Once again, it's like cooking a fine steak they're playing with this heat here. They've got to be careful now, though. Look at this heavy eye set. They're starting to hurry up.
And they'll run it again. Gibson spins. He didn't get the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches, and Detroit will be forced to burn the timeout. They'll have none remaining.
And I don't hate it there because you are in a heavy eye set, trying to give yourself some advantage, but now they're in that same, oh no, they're going to change the look here. Look at this set. They're spread out wide, single back.
2 tight ends. Sullivan, the fullback, is lined up at the tight end spot. Flowers to the bottom of the screen, and it's dropped. It's dropped. Robert Ensign Jr. targeted for the 3rd time all game, and he dropped the ball for the 2nd time. Oh, no.
And it's off the back plate. It's a simple miscommunication. Flowers wanted him to turn around and catch it. And the tight end, Henson Jr., thinks it's going to be a back shoulder throw. Oh, now everything's on the line.
They're going to spread out on 4th and inches. They go for the bundle. He caught the ball. Henson Jr. caught the ball. What is
redemption?
Happening?
It's still alive. The Maulers have a chance. The clock is still ticking, but a fresh set of downs has Flowers under center. He has so many options now.
They've had wacky experience at clock management before. Think back to week 1. I almost lost my mind at the end of that game. That was Detroit versus Queen City as Jimmy Went dropped the ball, and that's probably for the best as the clock stops with 28 seconds left.
Ooh, he calling it. Hold on to your butts. I'm on the edge of my seat right now, folks.
If you take heart medication, you might want to take a pill right about now. Flowers down to the bottom of the screen and unable to haul it in thanks to brilliant defense once again from Dew.
Corner pocket, Flowers looks for it, and it's only because this Dragons defense has been drilling physical tackling on their receivers and who they're protecting all season. That physical gameplay paying off dividends here.
3rd and 10. They need a touchdown. They need to get to about the 10 down the middle of the parish. It'll be 1st down, and they have to hurry it up now. They're not going to spike it. They're going to go for the end zone, and it's broken up. It'll be 2nd and goal with 10 seconds left. Jimmy Went, the intended receiver.
I tell you what, I'm fine with the hurry up there. I wouldn't want to spike it. There was a chance for you to go for the end zone. The clock is still stopped. You only need 10 seconds to have 3 plays. Only 3 shots left to save your game.
Here's Flowers. Gonna throw for the end zone. Tipped away. That had open backside, but DC had other ideas. Knocked away by Kev Sage Jr. And this will most likely be the last play of the game.
So much time coming off the clock here. Could have managed it a little bit better. If this ball comes down inbounds, the game is over. It is either a touchdown or an incompletion. That is the only way this game continues. Well, I guess there's some other edge cases, but that's all I see happening here.
It's going to be 3rd and goal. 7 seconds. Flowers to the end zone. Knocked away. It's still 3 seconds left. And Flowers can't believe it. He put it right into the breadbasket, but Tyler Highfield knocked it away.
Someone get a heart monitor on JW. Make sure that he's under 150 because, oh my God, this is absolute insanity. One chance left. The final gasp. Flowers has the game on his shoulders. Can he do it?
Flowers is 2 for 8 on this drive. This is the money down here. Flowers! Incomplete as time expires. He was looking for Parrish, but even then it would have been short. Jacoby 2, the defender covering.
Oh my God, Jadubi 2 screaming it like a cruise missile, absolutely throwing his entire body to seal the game. He saves everything. DC needed him there, not once, but twice. The 5'10", 190 wonder is the difference maker and puts DC on top. I can't believe what I just saw, Colin.
Oh, just a crazy game. The statistics were close. Zabaz Energy, he completed 3 passes the entire game.
What on
and
earth?
The Dragons still won the game.
How do you even do that? You don't even throw for 75 yards. I tell you how. Look at how well the defense for DC performed. We're talking about only 3 points allowed, or we're only allowed 3 points all game. We're talking, or 6 really. But it's beyond that. It is the absolute shutting down of Flowers trying to pass the football and keeping the yards per game under, or yards per carry under 4. Gibson and Harleman went nowhere.
Just incredible stuff. Shout out to Billy Beers. He was all over the playing surface. On behalf of our statistician Mark Lopez, and executive producer Commissioner Cameron Irvine. This has been Colin Northup, along with my partner for this week, Alex West. Thank you all, and have a good night.